Before we get started, here's a few highlights from today's game.
And that missed the location, but it's strike 3. 13 straight games of 7 or more. And there's 2 strikeouts for Gerrit Cole. And the 3-2. Strike 3. Strike 3. Miss 100 miles an hour. Strikeout number 5 for Cole.
Taking a call third, he gulps it into left field, and the Indians strike first.
A very tough pitch to get to.
Swing and a miss. Runner goes. Go to second. Now 8.
Make quality pitches.
Jose hits a high drive, deep right. Judge is back. He's out of room, and it's off in the top of the wall, in and out of his glove.
Home run.
I think that is a good goal, Arch. He kept it from going out.
He sure did. They're going to want to look at it, and they will. But
inning, 1-0 Indians. That one is driven into right center field, going back Rosario on the track at the wall. See ya, the guy with a big glove made a play. Deep drive, right center field. See ya! Home run for Odor. Swing and a miss. Down goes Jimenez. Swing and a miss. What does an ace do in a big game against another ace?
Get your comments ready. Here's Derek with the post-game reaction.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win!
Hey guys, I had to make a quick update to the box score there. Yankees have won 3 in a row. That is officially a winning streak for the first time this season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm in a good mood on this Saturday night. I'll go through my recap here, and then we'll talk through some of my notes from the game. Top of the first, Giancarlo Stanton gets a broken bat single. He's hitting in the second spot for the second day in a row. I like what they're doing there. They're trying something new, so good look for him. Judge walks. They get Bieber on the ropes right away, but Gleyber Torres and Gio strike out. Threat is over. Bieber was pumped. He went on a little bit of a roll. Bottom of the first, Indians go quietly. 2 strikeouts from Gerrit Cole. Using the changeup for the second one of those. No score after 1. Go to the top of the second. Bieber had 2 more strikeouts to begin the inning, and then he picked up a ground out. Bottom of the second, Cole K's Rosario on a great 3-2 curveball. Great break, 12-6. And then got Reyes on a fastball. 4 straight K's for Cole. And then Indians go quietly. No score after 2. Top of the third, Yankees go down 1-2-3. 8 in a row retired for Bieber at that point after the Judge walk. Bottom of the third, Cole touches 100 with his 5th strikeout. Perez doubles to right field. Jimenez strikes out. Number 6 at that point for Cole. And then Rosario grounds out. No score after 3. Go to my next flashcard here. I'm trying to double fist it because I got the coffee in one hand. By the way, this is my Tanaka mug. I miss Masahiro Tanaka a lot. Top of the fourth, Bieber gets Judge and Urshela. He had 6 Ks through 4. Bottom of the fourth, Judge rods a home run. That's an underrated play of the game because that saved the game. If he doesn't make that play, it's 2-2. Judge robs a home run, but drops it. Runner gets to third. Rosario, great piece of hitting to make it 1-0 Indians. I guess that runner would have scored anyway. So it wouldn't have been 2-2. I misread my notes there. Top of the fifth, Hicks will lead off home run. I told you he was coming out of it. He had a home run yesterday. Today, this is his first home run left-handed. I called it before the game on Patrick's stream. I hopped on there and said that Hicks was going deep, but I also called that Frazier would have a big night, and he did not. He is now batting 149 on the season. Odor hit a monster home run, number 3 on the season for him to make it 2-1. And look, he's going to grow on me if he keeps hitting big home runs and making great plays in the field. And I like his energy. I'm going to be singing a different tune tonight on Odor because in the past, he hasn't impressed me. But over the last couple of days, he's looked really good. And tonight, one thing that impressed me more than the home run, and the home run was very impressive, you're seeing it there, was he also took a pitch intentionally to left field and drove it the other way. And that was a different type of swing than I had seen from him thus far. He let it travel, It was an up and away fastball, and he drilled it the opposite way. It ended up being caught by the left fielder, but that was a good sign from Odor, an adjustment. And that's the first adjustment that I've seen him make since he came to the Yankees. So, you know, maybe I prejudged Odor a little too soon. Hey, I'm a fan. I'm not a professional here. I'm just a fan watching the games. So I get new information. I'm changing my opinion. I'm liking what Odor's bringing the last couple days. Go to the bottom of the fifth. Indians go quietly. Great shutdown inning for Gerrit Cole. After you score a couple of runs and take the lead, you always want to make sure that your starting pitcher goes out there and shuts the other team down. And that's what Gerrit Cole did. That's what an ace does. And in a matchup of two aces that was billed as probably one of the best pitching matchups that you can have, especially at this point in the season, Gerrit Cole won against Bieber for the second time in a row, to go back to last year's playoffs. Top of the sixth, infield base hit for Torres. Nice hustle down the line. He hit a little dribbler, and you might remember a couple nights ago he hit a dribbler and he just kind of jogged to first. This time he was hauling ass, and you know what? He beat it out. Urshela gave one a ride to deep left center field, but came up a little short. Through 5.5, 2-1 Yankees. As you can see, that was the final score, so I'm not going to update after every inning of that now. Bottom of the sixth, Indians go quietly once again. Top of the seventh, Bieber walks Frazier and Odor. Both had really great at-bats, especially Frazier. He took a couple of really, really close pitches just outside of the zone. They leave him in. I'm second-guessing. I'm first-guessing. I'm saying you got to get him out of there. But he got DJ to bounce out to shortstop for the fourth time. DJ LeMahieu 0 for 4, now batting .260 on the season. Go to the bottom of the seventh. Cole still throwing 99, gets his 10th K on his 101st pitch. He got Naylor for the 11th strikeout. So 11 strikeouts for Gerrit Cole tonight. He finishes the inning. His final line, 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 11 strikeouts. His ERA stands at 1.71. If you approach life with the same tenacity that Gerrit Cole approaches pitching, just trying to dominate every single day the way he tries to dominate every single time on the mound, you'll be okay. Top of the eighth, Judge rips a double to left. At one point in this game, I saw Dan tweeted that he was down to 238. I don't know what his average is up to after that at bat, but I thought the Judge has had better at bats than the results indicate. You might remember that he hit one off the end of the bat the other day that got caught, in deep left. He's had a couple that he hit really hard. He hit one at center field that was probably 110 miles an hour off the bat yesterday, and it got caught on a line drive just because it didn't have any chance to sink. It was hit so hard. I think Judge is going to be just fine. Let's not worry too much about Aaron Judge. We go to the bottom of the eighth. Wilson comes in, gets a line out, gets a walk. Wild pitch moves the runner into scoring position. I start sweating profusely through my Jason Voorhees hoodie. But Wilson gets a pop-up, and then Jonathan Loaizaga comes in and gets another pop-up to get out of it. Top of the ninth, Yankees go quietly, and then bottom of the ninth, Jonathan Loaizaga, filthy with his first save as a Yankee. First save of the season. 2-1 Yankees. They win, and I'm loving that Jonathan Loaizaga is finally getting the respect that he deserves, because I've always loved Johnny Lasagna's stuff. He's so filthy. For a guy who's that short to throw 98 miles an hour, with wicked movement, by the way, he's got good arm side run on his fastball. He's also got a great changeup. He's throwing that a lot more this year. Great hook. And when he first came up to the big leagues, you could tell that he nibbled a lot because he didn't want to get hit. A lot of pitchers do that. I'm not going to eat his lunch for that. But he just looks so confident right now. He reminds me of a little Pedro, just up there saying, hey, look, I've got what I got. Let's see if you can hit it. And so far, they're not having much trouble with Johnny Lasagna. Let's look at his ERA for the season so far. So first of all, Wilson is also pitching pretty well. Let me read off the Yankees' ERAs from the 3 pitchers who pitched today. Gerrit Cole picked up his 3rd win. He's 3-1, 1.71 ERA. Justin Wilson, 2/3 of an inning, 1.80 ERA. And then Johnny Lasagna, 1 1/3 innings, picked up his first save, 1.35 ERA. Luke Hughes says, any early MVP predictions? Well, I mean, if you had to go on what I've seen so far this season, Martinez up there in Boston looks really good. You know, it's really early. I mean, it's a long. We're 10% of the way. You wouldn't judge a car race after 1 of 10 laps, right? Or a horse race after 1 of 10 laps. So, Martinez having a good year. If the Yankees get hot, whoever emerges from that group could be somebody to consider. But Garrett Cole is definitely a Cy Young candidate. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, we forgot to do the Dono Hype air horn. Michael Ibanez says beardless Odor. I keep saying Odor. MVP. So I'll say this, man. He brings a lot of energy. And I saw Jesus Sanchez comment a minute ago. Where are all the Odor haters now? He does bring a lot of energy, and that's something that the Yankees need. I don't really even care if he hits 190 anymore because he just brings a different kind of energy. I do like that he hits for power. I wish he would hit for a little bit more contact. But, hey, we got one of my people from Poland. How's it going? Wojtek Cybulski? You sound that sounds Polish. Cybulski. Anyway, Odor, he's also made some nice plays in the field. I like that he's got pretty soft hands. So even though he doesn't strike me as a guy who has a ton of range, he made a nice play last night, but laterally he doesn't have a ton of range. But if you hit it at him, if you hit the ball as hard as you can at him, he just knocks it down and throws it to first. So Odor brings a lot more to this team than I admittedly saw the first few games, but he's starting to impress me. There's a few things that I can see why the Yankees like him. He's definitely got power, and his bat flips are great. He had another bat flip tonight on the home run. I'm sure you'll see it when the highlights go around again. But another bat flip on the home run tonight. He's really just playing balls to the wall right now. Clint Frazier, again, besides that one bat at bat, or that one walk, couple of bat at bats, Paul O'Neill had an interesting take on his weight shift, that he's kind of shifting too far forward. I see it. I see it when he's doing that. I've always felt like he's a guy who hits kind of flat-footed, on the front foot. He kind of dives forward and just throws the hands at the ball. He's a hands hitter. I think he's going to come out of it. I really do. Guy says Cole for Cy Young. He's definitely got Cy April, I think. 1.71 ERA so far. I said a couple of weeks ago, after his, I think, third start, I made a video that said he's off to a Cy Young start. And I posted it on Facebook in one of the Yankees groups, and I got laughed out of the room. People just say, "Oh, it's too early." But you can tell when somebody's got just dynamic stuff. He's added in that changeup, and he's throwing it a lot more confidently. That gives him 3 wipeout pitches. He's got Pedro stuff. I've used Pedro to reference 2 of our pitchers tonight, and Pedro's not somebody I usually like to reference because he was elite, and I saw him. But Garrett Cole looks as good as it comes right now, aside from Jacob deGrom, which I hear that debate all the time. Is Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole the better pitcher? deGrom is on another planet right now. deGrom is a man by himself, head and shoulders above the rest of the league right now. He's had 14 plus strikeouts in 3 consecutive games. Did Bieber make reactions like Allen? No, Bieber was a little bit more professional. Amazing baseball places. I wanted Cole to match deGrom so bad. Well, me too. First of all, I agree.
Yes, I agree.
But wins are more important than strikeouts. Well, not wins the stat, but winning as a team. So I was actually kind of hoping after he got into the 6th or 7th and I realized Chapman and Green weren't available, I was like, man, I hope he can get some quick 1-pitch outs because I wanted him to go maybe 7 or 8 innings. He did end up going 7. I really was hoping that they would bring him out for the 8th, but he threw about 102 or 103 pitches, something like that, which is a lot for him. The Yankees don't let him go very far a lot of times. You saw that Bieber tonight threw 118 pitches, so pretty good outing for him. All right, let's see what else we got in the comment. Joseph Meninga says, I have a lot of Polish friends. They're the most loyal and generous people. Amen to that, brother. When will Voit be back? And if Odor continues like this, what is going to happen? So, Jose Manuel Aguilar, Voit will be back probably in a week or two. It's the third night in a row that someone's asked that question. He's at the alternate site. I heard tonight that he was doing drills, defensive drills. So he can't be too far away. If you're doing defensive drills on a surgically repaired knee, it's just going to be a matter of getting back into baseball shape. I'm sure he wasn't allowed to do much physically when he was recovering from the knee surgery. I'm sure, knowing Luke Voit, that he still went to the weight room and worked his upper body. So you got to imagine the strength is there. That's not going to be an issue. I don't think he was probably able to get into the cage because the knees are such a big part of hitting. Hopefully he's just getting his timing back and he'll be back in a week or 10 days. As for Odor, when Voit comes back, you're going to shift DJ LeMahieu back to second. You're going to keep Gio at third, and you're going to keep Gleyber Torres, who, by the way, is looking a lot better at shortstop over the past few days. At shortstop, what does that leave for Odor? Well, he's going to be the new Tyler Wade. I think when you need to give Gleyber Torres a day off at short, you can put Gio Urshela over there. You've already seen Gio Urshela start one game at short when Torres needed a day off. And Odor can play second base, and he can play it pretty well. He plays that shift pretty well. So if you need to give LeMahieu a day off, you simply slide Odor into second. If you need to give Urshela a day off, you simply put DJ over at third base and put Odor at second. I think Odor's going to play mostly second base. And I think that's fine because that's suited to him. He's got the hands. He doesn't have a great arm. He doesn't have a lot of lateral range. But when you put him deep into that shift and he can handle rockets being hit right at him, he just knocks him down and throws him right over to first base. No sweat. And look at that bat flip. Look at that bat flip. Fantastic. Danny Corner says, what happens to Wade now? I'd imagine you'll see Wade at some point. I mean, guys get hurt all the time. You know, do we really think that Voit, LeMahieu, Torres, and Urshela are all going to stay healthy all year? If they do, then Wade probably stays at AAA until the rosters expand in September. But I'd imagine at some point one of those guys is going to tweak a hammy or have a stiff back or, you know, take a ball off the wrist and need to go on the IL for a couple of weeks. I mean, that happens every baseball season. I'm not trying to knock our guys for being injury prone. It just happens. It's a contact sport. And so I think you'll see Wade step in when that happens. Alex says, are the Giants doing anything with Estrada? I did see he got into a game the other day, but I'm unfamiliar with his statistics so far. Eric C says, and they went against an ace. Hey, cheers to that. Let's get an applause for that. Because the Yankees hadn't done anything against an ace really at all. I mean, against even decent pitchers, they had been shut down practically for the past, couple of weeks since the season began. So to see them face really one of the top 2 or 3 pitchers in baseball and win, even though you got 2 runs and I think you only got 4 or 5 hits, hey, that's what it's going to be like in the playoffs. You're going to have to win these 2-1 games. You're going to have to use your bullpen. You're going to have to use Jonathan Loaisiga. There might come a time when Loaisiga has to enter in this same position in the postseason. Maybe Chapman has pitched 2 or 3 days in a row and the Yankees don't want to go to him, and I'd have a hard time digesting them not going to Chapman in a playoff game, but it could theoretically happen knowing how much Boone likes to strictly rely on the book. And let's say, during the playoffs, you typically have multiple off days, but last year they didn't have a lot of off days. So let's say you have a rain out or something like that, and you have to use up your off day and play 5 or 6 days in a row. You can't use Chapman every single day. So you might need to rely on guys like Loaisiga. But you're also going to have, hopefully, Zach Britton back by then. Zach Britton is another guy to keep your eye on. He'll be back pretty soon. AL League batting average is down 9 from last season, 243 to 234. Slugging is 700 from 733. Hey, that's probably the de-juiced ball. And it's also early in the year. That may level out over time. You may see, July, August, when things heat up, the ball starts carrying a little bit more. Danny Corner says, why do the Yanks use Krisky? Damned if I know. I think they like his stuff. Amazing says, can you call me CJ? You got it. Prince Boss says, loving the team. They're finally having fun. Well, they've won 4 out of 5 now, right? They've turned the corner. Now it's fun. It wasn't so much fun last week when they were playing pathetic baseball. That 8-2 loss to the Rays had a lot of Yankees fans taking the blades out of their razors. AFTB says, wait, what's the playoff format this year? As of right now, it's going to go back to the old version of the playoffs, but I think Major League Baseball said that they've reserved the right to change that as the season goes forward. How do you feel about the Yankees after this current mini streak versus last week? Well, I do think that they've changed their approach some. You're seeing guys chase less pitches out of the zone, as they mentioned on the broadcast multiple times. You're seeing guys less pull happy, especially Gleyber Torres and Aaron Hicks. Aaron Hicks looks a lot better than he did last week. I know his average is still low, but we've seen him draw some walks. I'm still a little concerned that DJ LeMahieu isn't really clicking yet, but I think he will. He's rolling over a lot of pitches. I think he's trying to hit for too much, trying to hit to the pull side too much. He needs to stick with going to the opposite field. And you'll hear me preach that over and over again. And I don't want to sound like a broken record. Half you people don't know what a record is. Hell, I've never even owned a record. But apparently they would repeat if they were broken. So I don't want to sound like a broken record or anything like that, but it's important as a hitter to use the whole field, to think about going to the backside, which is the opposite field, when you need to get out of slumps. Because if you try and pull the ball, you actually pull it less. I had a conversation with somebody on Reddit last week about Gleyber Torres, and he said, so if you try and pull the ball, you're actually pulling it less. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. Gabriel Flores says, man, this is the Yanks I want to see. I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Thomas Clark says, do you think Cole will be better when Rob Manfred moves the mound back? First of all, I hope that doesn't happen. Although I understand that sometimes changes need to be done in the mound. In 1968 or 69, they actually lowered the mound, I believe, because guys, I think it was Bob Gibson had like a 1.7 or 1.17 ERA, something like that. So they lowered the mound a little bit. Moving it back a foot, I feel like, is a problem. I mean, it's been baseball. It's a diamond. The pitcher's mound's in the center of the diamond. I mean, it's a diamond. It's geometry. You can't go screwing with that. But guys been throwing their same way their whole life are going to have to make a change. If that happens, I think you're going to see more arm injuries because guys aren't going to try and throw softer. You know, I think you're going to see more arm injuries. Eric C. says, what is your opinion on the needs of the Yankees in the trade market? I'm not completely sold on Corey Kluber yet. Jamison Tyone, I think, has been pretty good, even though the numbers are kind of similar for those guys, I believe, without looking at it. Neither one of them has gone deep into the game, but Tyone at least has his good fastball. I know Kluber's not a guy who relies on heat, but he's been running out of gas in the 4th inning. The curveball's been kind of iffy. You're expecting Luis Severino back. But to me, if somebody who's a premier starting pitcher becomes available, you have to take a look at it. I still think the Yankees could use a left-handed bat. I love Clint Frazier in left field, and I promise I'm not just saying this because he's off to a slow start. But if you had the opportunity to move Clint Frazier and get a really good left fielder who's a left-handed swinging bat, and maybe at the end of a contract, so that you could have some options when the season's over financially, I think that would be something to look at. I don't know who that would be right now, but yeah, that would be starting pitching and one more left-handed bat. Gibson had a 1.12 ERA in 1968. Yowza. All right, here, my mod is headed out. By the way, that's not actually Jason Dominguez. But all right, Yankees win this one. I appreciate it, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for the postgame. This episode is brought to you in part by Vector Travel. Visit bookings.vectorstays.com and enter the code NYY Recaps at checkout to get 10% off your next stay. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel.